again to AGM 2024. We're so excited to have us all here. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our past presidents of the EXMAN Association. So we have Mr. Kayode Oladeshi. Let's give a round of applause. And then, we have the very recent past president, Mr. Tunji Adeyinka. And then members of the Exco. I think we just have about 2 of them here now. The rest will be joining us shortly. So we have our VP, Mrs. Angela Makinwa. And then we have our publicity secretary. He's here somewhere. Okay, there he is. Mr. Lai. And then, of course, to all our wonderful agency members, I say welcome again to AGM 2024. Please let's give ourselves a round of applause.
This one.
Like I said, we started. If you are the university this afternoon, you can see how much fun we had with the students. And then we have the firefight. And then tomorrow we have the AGM proper. So to kick off this fireside, for the fireside, it's actually going to be very informal. I know the last AGM we had, or maybe 2 AGMs ago, we just came in, we had dinner and went into our hotels. But we thought it was good to at least welcome ourselves this time. And then let's just chat. That's why it's chat, there's no fire. But then let's chat about matters to us as agencies. Let's make it informal because we still have the town hall tomorrow. So tomorrow we can take all the serious issues. But today, what are those things that are affecting us? Beyond the economy of the country, we'll look at those things. And then for our new members, we're going to have a talk about what EXMAN is all about. I mean, we've only just registered, but we'll tell you a bit about it. So call it like a pre-induction talk tonight. So that's what we'll be doing here. So please let us have fun. And like I said, it's very informal. We'll have some drinks. And then when we are done, we'll hand over your dinner packs to you so you can go have your dinner in your hotel. So very quickly, I'd like to introduce our anchors for tonight. So we have Patrick Moita and Mr. Bolu. So let's give them a round of applause. So, Mr. Patrick.
Hi, good evening everyone. I've been given this unfortunate task to anchor this program, and I'll try as much as possible to be as brief as possible. I have my able friend and brother, Bolu. So wherever I don't have knowledge about, is there to support. Okay. As a show of hand, can I see how many of the new agencies are here, please? Udada? Just 2? Oh, 3? Okay. Are we doing it in incremental order or? Okay. If I may ask, can we stand up so we can be recognized? The 3 agencies that are here, can you please stand up and be recognized? Good evening. Sorry, may I know your name?
Okay. Oluwasegun.
Okay, and CQ means killing Z to the Q. Okay, thank you.
Good evening all. My name is Ike Juku. I'm Ike Kalu. I'm from Cosmo Fashion Point, CBPL.
Thank you. Sorry if I...
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bamikole Akinwumi, representing Oaklands and Johnson. Oaklands and Johnson. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. You're all welcome to this EXMAN Association. Right. Okay. There are certain things that affect us as an agency, and maybe we would like to know how each of us handle the issues. A couple of things like the Jackpot or whatever syndrome. General things of how things have affected your agency and how you dealt with it. Bolu, do I have everything covered? Okay. All right. I will start with my own experience. Right? I did not get into experiential as a calling. I got into it as an accident. Yes. I am a trained aircraft maintenance engineer, and I was looking for opportunity to go and fly. Unfortunately, I was bounced 3 times. And a friend of mine offered me that, okay, he didn't say offered me a job. He didn't offer me a job. He said, come and meet somebody and tell the person what you can do. And that person happened to be Tunji Adeyinka. I walked into Tequila in 1996, 97, and Tunji sits me down in the conference room. He asked me all the story, what do I know? I just blabbed. The next thing, he gave me a folder. What was the folder? You're going on recce. That was it. And lo and behold, we went on the recce together, thinking that I was going to go and at the end of the whole day, I'll come back. We went to Sokoto. We did Sokoto. Went to Yaori. We finished Yaori. I think with Kaduna, that we now said, okay, it's your turn to Israel. We have this, so I will face my own area. This is me that I've never had anything to do with marketing before, from engineering background, coming to, and the first thing he said was that when you're going to look for a point, we're supposed to be doing the Rothman group then, and this is the size of the stage. How do I make the stage to run long? I will now use my leg, 1, 2, 3, and then go the other way, So all those things, to me, it was just, okay, experience, let me just do it, because my mind was not still there. All I just wanted to do that, okay, fulfill all righteousness. We did the first one, I think about 5-7 states. Came back, trying to submit reports. My brother, it's easy to spend money, but when it comes to reconciliation, you have to. There are times sweat begin to sweat my body, say, this money I must account for. Lo and behold, I went through that, and second thing was that the first set of records we did, they said you now have to go back round. Imagine going around 18 states to change dates. So that was an experience for me. And it's not now that you will come and charge everybody an arm and a leg. Truly, you will charge air tickets to one location, and you use road. Like, don't worry, once you talk also, you will use to cover the rest until you find yourself in Lagos. So that helped me. The surprising thing about the whole thing was that coming to submit your report, I never touched computer before. This man, see that man, he said, make I enter system, type, hey Jesus, come and see me, see keyboard. I will first look A, type, that. Anyway, he made a mistake one day. said he had done one document and said, okay, just go and print. By the time I sent print, 500 copies had gone to the printer. I did not know how to stop it. So those things shaped my understanding about certain things. As if that was not enough, they now broke us from tequila, called us tequila events. So before you had the client service, people go to chase the client, get the job. You, the event person, you will now come and go and do the events and all those things. But now you have to go and do the client also. You know? That's when I barely spent 1 year with this man. They created one department called channel marketing. I was moved from event to channel marketing without experience. Engineer not above. Channel marketing. I did that one. He now left us in the wilderness to somewhere called MTN. You know, so we're in the wilderness. Long and short of the whole thing is that within 3 years, I worked in 4 different departments in tequila. In fact, the 4th one, I had to go to Mr. Paul and say, excuse me, sir, please, are you aware that I have just not done up to 6 months in this place? He said, yes, we are trying to make you an agency. That was the first time I understood something called agency person. Because from client service to channel, from channel to production, from production to agency process, it was Mr. Rotimi that put me in agency operations. So now all that helped me to see where I could make any living from. All the while I thought I was just going to just do waka pass, like in the movie I just do waka pass. But that helped me to an extent, you know, and that is where I will start and end for now. So anybody that has no experience about getting to this position can share. Then we'll now go into things that affect us properly. Thank you.
Okay, so I got it. So I think we'll just jump into it like you rightly said. Okay, so I think I'll just do it. Basically, I think we're here to discuss basically something informal, not necessarily formal. Now, we do understand that the working client presently is a tough one, and I think one of the things that we also want to discuss is how can we navigate through this difficult situation. We don't want to do this in a formal setting. How can we navigate through these trying times as a body in this difficult situation? We also know that there's another thing that is also affecting agencies right now, which is the new culture of hiring and firing, either by hook or by crook. How are we also navigating that? So I think at this point the floor is open for anybody to actually let us know what exactly can we do as a body to navigate through this trying time of the present day Nigeria. If nobody is saying anything, I'll just walk to somebody and then I'll just hand over the mic to the person. I think I'll do this. You're going to introduce your agency and then let's kickstart this.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Oyo State, co-founder of Experiential. How do you navigate through life? Let's navigate through. I mean, to be very honest, today 2 of my employees jump ship to another agency. I think one of the things I've learned over the last 7 years of being in this industry is that you can't really, I don't try. People say I have pride. I think it's more process and how we work. And I'm more focused on building than trying to be people. As a matter of fact, what I do have consistently is contact. So as these two people are leaving, I have someone who is coming back from. She went to one of those. She went to a creative agency and she's coming back. Experiential work is fun. Creative agency is all that. It's nice, they pay a lot of money. But if you like the actual work of creative marketing, enjoy it as much, just being behind the scenes. So she's coming back and I'm quite confident that at least for employing you, one of the things I strongly believe is that I'm focused on how we work, our culture. We are very people call us, in fact our name is the people company. The people company. So what we do most is we ask what is important to the people that we have, both clients and staff. And once I've done that for average, I forget about the outlier. Who wants to leave? It's okay. I can give everybody. The person leaving, I love it to death, but someone is paying twice the amount I'm paying. And that's okay. It means they value him that much. I value him too, but I cannot afford it. So instead, I'll find a copper and invest. It's hard work because it means that I'm doing the work, which is why for the longest time you've been dragging me to come and join next month. And I've been struggling because I say I'm too busy. I'm too invested in the work that we do that it feels like when I leave for a minute, we have to get 20 minutes. It's better now because we build more leaders now. I'm in a better place, and I see that I have where I use now. My business is no longer one agency, it's 4 agencies. We do creative work now. And I don't announce. You know how we like to announce things, but I have like it. Lastly, because I feel like we also believe that people like the amazing people in this room look at my staff and start to work for them. So I get a lot of expose. Ayola, one of the conducted last year, Ayola told me that Ayola told 6 people from my agency in the space of 6 months. I have to go and sit down with him and say, you have to stop. I said, continue, I will start coming after your people. I said, because all we are coaching, they tell me, and things that my team are very small, so they come and tell me, say, I love my salary. I hate matching salary. From experience, I don't know the same thing. I realized that you can't stop. When we first started, I used to look to someone of us 150, I want you 150, someone of us 300, I match it. And I realized what I'm doing is that even if the person is not great, they will go and negotiate. So I don't do it any longer. So if you come and tell me someone is offering you plenty money, as a matter of fact, I will tell you in that moment, I cannot match it. Here's what I will do. I'll match it in 6 months. Will you wait 6 months? Because usually you wait 6 months, it means you like us more. Anyway, long and short, where we are as an agency, we now have 5 agencies in our group. I don't even run my business any longer. I run Red. I run Red Media. The group still has Red. It's a group team. This craft and all of that. I run Red. I don't do this as much. There's a CEO there, but again, the assistant I do that has to come here. Usually I will hide from this thing. My point is, in navigating that space, employment is how I do it. For clients, I've stopped. Bamishi, my very good friend, my brother, is marketing director at AGM. 2 of their brand managers were classmates in the school. Yes, they will not give us up. Because again, the game is big and it's rigged. So what I've done instead is I've looked at all the athletes that everybody has money and I'm chasing it. So which is why we have 5 agencies in our group. Like I said, we just closed Bet Niger as a retainer for creative work, which is good for me. So it's not everything that is, I mean I do experiential as my core personally, but on the other side, I choose to have money.
Okay, so thank you very much. We can see you are doing well. We hope to do well as much as you are doing as well. But right now, we are trying to find out how to navigate trying times. You are doing well. You are doing well. You are doing well. You understand, which is a very good thing on the long run. Who do I go to again? How do we navigate through difficult and trying to navigate through this difficult.
Hello, good evening. I'm not talking about navigating through hard times. As you can see, I look like him, so I'm not sure the times are that bad. But I wanted to just speak to something that he spoke about in passing. We're speaking about a company poaching 6 people from his organization. I mean, that is unethical, actually. And I think it's important that we speak about that. It's not, and you know, there's a difference between law and ethics. You understand? Right? There's a difference between law and ethics. There's certain things that are not written in law, but they are wrong ethically. It is wrong to poach a certain number of people from another company, right? I mean, poaching 6 people from a company means you want to kill the company. That's what it means, right? So, and you know, even among us as competitors, there's certain things that we should not do. Do you understand? If a client comes to your company and hires 4, 5 people, right, you go to that client and tell the client, do you want to kill my business? Right? You don't want me to service you again. Exactly. So I just thought to so that we don't think it is normal. It's not normal to hire 6 people from another agency. But thanks for saying that. I think yeah.
I wanted to ask how many would be ethical.
I mean, yes, you can hire 1 person. We have to look at the test of reasonability. If I hire 1 person from the organization, or I hire 2 people from the organization, then I move beyond that. Now it begins to look somehow now. I mean, yes, now it looks like enemy action. Exactly. That's so I think reasonability is what we're talking about. What is reasonable? So it's not about saying, okay, what, I mean, I know some agencies that are very big, some are not that big. For some, if you take 3 people from that big, it's not about
for drawing the line between ethical and non-ethical. The lines are actually getting blurred every day.
Okay, the line is getting blurred more and more every day. But also, I think it's important for us to ask ourselves how ethically we behave in terms of how we treat our staff. in terms of how you coach,
How many people you coach, whether you do it over a
period of 1 year or 2 years, start again. Whether you do the coaching over a period of 1 year or 2 years, because again, that was another question I was going to ask you, sir. Is it one person every 2 years or 2 persons every 4 years? However, I'm moving to the other part because I think it is fair. If we're talking about coaching, it is also fair to talk about how are we treating our staff. I think that some heads of agencies who are sitting right here together with all of us, we do not do enough in terms of treating our staff together. We don't train them. We do not pay them well. We don't even talk to them with respect. And these small things matter. It's easier to coach people when they are not treated well. Sometimes it's not always about money. We tend to think it's easy to tell people, I have given you,
I'm giving you an additional 500,000 or 1 million or whatever the case is. But sometimes people are actually allowing themselves to be coached because you as heads of agencies, you are not treating your staff well. We do not have any form of code, whether written or unwritten, in terms of how we treat the people that work for us. The work that we do as experiential marketing people is a very tough one. And absolutely without lights, there's no one good way of doing it. And people go through all of that, and then you get to speak to them disrespectfully. You get to treat them anyhow. Some people are being owed salary for 3 months. That's unacceptable. I think that in the same vein, we're talking about coaching, we should also speak out about these things. We shouldn't be doing that. Thank you.
Madam President,
I was going to ask a question, same lines. So I think that we're talking about coaching from the point of view where agency A goes to agency B, and then agency A goes to force 6 people or more out of agency B back to agency A. Would it be unethical if 6 people? Would it be unethical if 6 people from agency B showed interest in openings that agency A advertised? If agency B has 10 very solid staff, and agency A has an opening for 8 people, and all 10 of them put in for the application, and agency A interviews them and is okay with employing them, how unethical would that be? I think that is the situation Angela just said, that will allow 6 people from an agency to go to an agency that advertised for the position. So if you do not take care of your staff properly, you are giving room for them to recruit elsewhere. She just said it, that if you don't take care of your staff, they will definitely leave. So ethical there is not one problem. You advertised, and then the people in that agency decided that I'm happy. And if I borrow the words of my former boss, you can drive a Jaguar at the price of a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah? Okay.
Still on the business of navigating through trying students. How are we doing it, sir?
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So you want me to comment? Am I allowed to comment on the one that we're talking about? So for me personally, and I'm being very honest, I think the aspect of coaching, we need to also look at other industries. You know, I've had a friend who is a banker. And he left particularly, you have bank PhD at number 15, and the next building is first bank. And he literally stepped out from his first bank building and joined the next building. You know, so people move on that. And I think Angela touched on the very important aspect. So, what kind of culture do you have, you know, within your establishment? How are you able to manage issues? I mean, empathy is very important. I mean, Henry overemphasized it. And we need to be part of the lives of the people that are working with us. So beyond money, I think a lot of people, even staff, you know, they also feel that human beings. They also feel that they should have some level of, you know, attachment to their work. So there's a need for us to sit down at some point, distill how some of these things should be done. If you don't have enough experience in how those things are done. Because I've had people that have been with us for 7 years, 10 years, you know, 5 years, 6 years. Of course, some guys really wonder 1 to 2 years. But we feel that I mean, they are not for us, obviously. But the people that are for us, either we get an offer, they come back and say, I got this offer, it's a job for my salary, but I'm not interested. You know, irrespective, because what I need, I'm not sure I can actually get it at that particular time. So I think it's all about the culture and the kind of environment. So at some point we'll have to discuss that. Now, going into of course, we always each and every time that we are doing right now, and it's a global issue. I want just to start looking at creative ways of doing business, even beyond the experiential where we play. You know, how are people managing and optimizing? And a typical example is very recently, I don't know whether it affected some of us there, I'm sure it does. You know, never change or the discos change their pricing from about 70 naira to about 250 naira. So literally, if you're spending about 100,000 on your NEPA bill monthly, technically it has moved to about 1,000 monthly. And now your income has not increased. Your expenditure, you know, is growing. You go to the market, the things that you buy at 1,000 naira has gone to about 3,000 because of exchange rates. Now, how do we pivot around all of this? So, for example, in my own house, I realized that, okay, I can't continue this way. So now in the morning time, when we have less activities at home, you know, we switch to solar. And in the evening, when people are back at home, you know, we switch back. And we started saving costs, which we were not doing before. So the same thing we have to apply, you know, in this instance. So we look at our business. For me, I mean, creative and strategy is very important to me as a business. I know that some guys, they might feel they prefer the operational aspect or the project management, so to speak, or maybe the client engagement aspect of it. Of course, they are all very important. But of course, at some point, we need to look at which one do you want to place premium on, you know, and we focus on how we want to train these people, how we want to create a niche and life for them, and how you want to have, I mean, sustainable team that your income, because a lot of even CEOs don't even understand their bottom line. I mean, I've met with somebody who told me at the time, he did a business of about 150 million. And he said he made a lot of money. And at the end of the day, when I looked at his books, he made just about 7 million. And he has actually bought a car of about 20-something million. But technically, looking into that book, he made just barely about 7 point something, not even up to 10 million. So it means that sometimes some people are also not even very fast technically, and they need help. And that's why I think EXMAN is doing a great job, you know, doing a lot of capacity building sessions, you know, in recent times. to optimize the caliber of people that we have in our team. So I think it's just for us to look at the situation, look at the core and the focus of our business, the strengths, and of course, optimize on those areas. Sometimes you have 4 or 5 staff, they are doing almost the same thing. 2 people can actually do those jobs. I mean, I've done that in recent time where we had to lay off few people, increase the salary of some other guys that we feel they are doing better, you know, and we are getting those value against some of the guys that we don't really need, you know. Some guys left, we don't have to replace them because we actually looked at their role and we feel that we can actually pass those role, you know, to other people. You know, so those are ways and means that we've been going about, you know, which I think generally every agency needs to have all of these sessions at some point. Look at where you have the premium in your business, focus on them, and look at how you can also, you know, scale down some things that you don't, you know, in terms of expenditure, majorly. Look at top 5. You know, you're paying salaries, you're paying a lot of recurring expenditure from your rent to electricity bills, you know, so how can you scale down on all of this? And I think it's going along with the numbers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I want to look at this from a somewhat different angle. A lot of us in marketing communications in this line of work, we're too insular in our thinking. We tend to look at life starts and ends within our industry, our ecosystem. How much money can I make from my clients, you know, and how do I just get the best from the business? And we tend not to look at the larger economic environment. And so we all believe that, look, for as long as I can get more business, I'll be fine. But it goes beyond that, because we are working within an economic environment where certain decisions, policies of government, one way or the other, can impact your performance. And it is something that we don't pay attention to. The reality for today, honestly, is that someone was talking about the issue of staff leaving. The primary reason why staff would leave is economic. So if you look at galloping inflation, today you bought something at a particular amount of money and then the next day it has gone to like 4 times or 5 times that value. And this person's salary is not moving in same at tandem with the inflation. So the man is under pressure. So if anybody comes, no matter how much that person loves you or loves working in your agency, if somebody makes him an offer that he cannot refuse, he will take the offer and, you know, come and, you know, be apologetic, but tell you, Oga, please, I need to go. And if you are then constrained by also the reality of the economic environment, where you are a big agency with a salary structure and you have several people, you understand that one person, you can't match that one person's salary without upsetting the system. So you find that you cannot meet up. My point really is that you can try everything possible that you can do to try and cut down on your costs. It's a good strategy, but ultimately we need to teach ourselves financial literacy and look for ways and means to be able to have multiple income streams. And then when you do get the money, you understand, you also need to find ways of making that money work for you. And it means that you must be alive to what is happening, you understand, within the environment. So you need to find ways to make more money. And if you make 1 naira, how far can I stretch that 1 naira to make more money, you understand, for me? So my advice really is that you need to look at what is happening within the economy and be able to take advantage of it. for instance, I mean, you're putting money into, you're saying, okay, they're doing treasury bills now, they're doing bonds and all of that. But how much are you going to make, from those instruments? At most 20%. But what's the inflation rate? It's 40%. So except you have a strategy in terms of, okay, what am I using my money for? How do I hedge against inflation? What sort of opportunities are there? Let me say something to us in terms of what the economy really does to all of us. If somebody was approaching retirement, let's say around 2015, and the person says, oh, I have 100 million naira, both in liquid assets and then assets that are in liquid cash and easily convertible assets, which means I can easily convert those assets to cash. So he has 100 million naira and is approaching retirement. And then you look at exchange rates. 100 million naira in 2015 will be about $500,000. About up to mid-year 2015, $500,000. So see what has happened between 2015 and 2024. So that man with 100 million naira then, what's the value if you want to do the conversion rate for 100 million naira today to dollars? About less than $70,000. It was $500,000 in 2015. It is less than, it's about $66,000, you understand, in 20. So, the reality of it is that our economy is largely impacted by the exchange rate. So when they are talking about exchange rates and say, you say, okay. So you must also begin to look at what do, you understand, regarding that. How do you make sure your money can run faster than whatever it is that is happening here? So look, nobody can pay you enough salary. Nobody can pay enough salary, you understand, to help you keep up with inflation and the trends that are happening in here. You are the one that needs to teach yourself financial literacy and understand that, look, your money can do a lot more for you if you find ways. And that's what that is my own recommendation. So that when you do that, the economy may be tight and all of that, but you will find out that you are able to stay ahead of the pack. And that's my contribution. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. There is also a tough issue that bothers about agency fee with clients. And it has become, like what Kayode said, the economic reality has made clients to reduce agency fees, right? But how does that, without considering you also, because you're working in the same monetary policy, right? I give a case in point, a client that was offering 10%, within how many months cut it down from 10% to 7.5%, and then sends you a mail that he wants to bring it down to 6%. So how do you manage that? Because in reality, you have the monetary policy that borrowing rate now is about 30% if you see anyone at all. And then the client is offering you 6%. Don't forget the fact that you still have 30 days or 45 days to get paid. And you claim the 6%. I'm saying this because I know that a couple of us
Thank you very much, Kayode, for that insightful lesson. I think for me, the biggest issue is, as agency owners and as agency partners, we need to get to a point where we understand finance and how finance can transform your business. So financial literacy is very, very important. We also need to get to a point where we should not be shy to make bold statements. It's not every game that you will play. It's not every project that you will win. But you must be true to your values. I say this every time, right? If you understand that interest rate now is about 30 to 34%, and you have a 30-day project, and you get paid after the project. So a 30-day PO is a 90-day cycle. For 90 days, your interest rate is hovering between 2.6 to 2.7% a month. So if you do 2.7 times 3, you're looking at almost 8%. So if a client is offering you 10% agency fee, 8% or 80% of that 10% is going to the bank. You're only left with 20% of that 10%, which is 2%, unless you make money on line items and all that. Are you with me? So, if a client is offering you 7% or 6%, you walk away. Because agencies have to understand that what we sell is expertise. We don't sell commodity. It's only in the commodities market that you can price, like moi moi. Oh, this sugar is this amount, I can only pay this. We don't sell commodity. We sell expertise. So, if you also think back and you ask yourself, what are the different things that I pay for as an agency? You pay salaries, right? You pay operational costs. You pay pension. You pay workmen's compensation. You pay group life. You pay medical, end of year bonus, and every other thing that you do. By the time you rack all this up, you start to discover that there are some projects that you are better off just walking away from. You understand? Now, there are two ways in which agencies can be remunerated. It's either the commission-based structure or the retainer model. Are you with me? All of us, I believe, are operating under the retainer model, at least 90% of us. I mean, under the commission-based structure. And under the commission-based structure, right, it caters for three elements. The first element, right, is your manpower cost, your salaries, and all the benefits that go with it. The second element is your operational costs. And your third element is profit. And in a well-run agency, in a well-run model, conventionally, it always hovers around 40, 40, 20. Are you with me? So, within that band, there is no room for cost of funds. Because you have to pay for your manpower cost, your operational cost, and then hopefully get some profit, right? There is absolutely no room for cost of funds. But what is happening now is an anomaly where they will ask you to pay for the cost of funds from your 10%. Because your 10% is supposed to be 40% of it should be able to cover your operational costs, 40% should be able to cover your manpower costs, then 20% should be able to cover your profit. Unfortunately, a lot of agency owners don't understand this. And that is why you go to a negotiation table. And that is why we will accept whatever the client throws at us. Even if you are desperate and you need the business, but the decision you have taken is indirectly or inadvertently affecting the industry. And once they go to A and A says no, they go to B, B says no, and C equally likewise, then the level of respect would go up. Because these clients will also know. A client has once told me that, in fact, it was a project that they gave, I think it was 4 agencies. And one of the line items was bus hire. On the rate card, bus hire is 25,000 naira. Meanwhile, the bus hire element of the PO that we received, I think the PO was 102 million. The bus hire element was 37 million. It should have been higher because they told us that, oh, this bus hire, because it's for so many days, we're only going to pay 15,000 naira per day. I was actually in the UK when they called me from procurement, take it or leave it. I said, I'll leave it. They said, you leave it? I said, I'll leave it. Now, they said, but we've issued the PO. I said, we can return the PO. I took the liberty I was in Leicester. I took the liberty, I parked on the side of the road. I called the CEOs of 3 of the other 4 agencies. I said, please don't take this project because this is what is happening. And guess what? They took the project. When I got back to Nigeria, the procurement team called me. They said, we respect you. We knew that we were pushing you guys, but we just said, let us try them. They will collect it. You're the only one that did not collect it. And you returned a 102 million PO. That we respect you. Now, what am I trying to say? Sometimes what we want to eat clouds our judgment. We will survive, but we have to be principled in doing the right things. And it's getting tougher. Clients are pushing, but as agency owners and as agency partners, it's only once a year we come together like this. We must be resolute in our determination to ensure that we work together, we stick together, and we have one vision, which is to grow this industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny.
It's supposed to be a light-hearted fire, but when this man went to start talking about hardship, there's no way the talk will not be hard. But I just want to add something to what I said earlier, because you look at it and say, is it not so? Like, if I'm struggling to meet up with my daily expenses, where am I going to be able to even have anything extra? Then begin to look at how can I even stretch, you understand, that money further. And this is what I would say. The major problem that we have is that everybody talks about lifestyle, and we want to sort of keep up with the Joneses, and we want to dress in a particular way, be seen in particular places, and what have you. But you will realize that maintaining that lifestyle, comes at a cost. So you need to look at your expenses and be able to say that, well, I don't want to be far out. And when they look at me and say, you are looking so far off from your peers. But nobody says that I have to be a fashionista. I read somewhere that they said that fashionistas, if they wear one cloth to a particular event, right, they cannot repeat that cloth again for like maybe another 1 year or so. They say. So you must, if there's anything I'm saying, I'm talking to us as individuals as what have you, the thing you must do that must change, starting point, financial literacy 101, is that you must pay yourself first. Whatever you earn, you must pay yourself first. Because if you don't, the salary you earn, the first person that will take money out of that salary is who? Is government. They take it off at source, which is your tax. So it's either they take the tax that the rest of the money comes to you. So the next thing that you must do is that you must pay yourself, which means your investments, you must set something aside. How can I say it to? You must set something aside that is going, into that particular area. And even if it is starting from very small money, I'll just tell you today, that's why I started this together. I was looking for some documents, and I found a letter also from Stallion Homes. One of the mortgage institutions that came up, I think in the early 90s, and they were our clients. And so I found a letter acknowledging a fixed deposit of 10,000 naira, and I was smiling to myself. This would have been sometime around 1992 or 1993. So, but if you set that thing aside, it is when you have cash. When you have cash, that is when you can take advantage of opportunities. That is when they tell you that no, there is land for sale somewhere. It's because you have the cash that you can buy. If they say there is a project, a real estate project that they are doing off plan, it is because you have the cash that you can take advantage of it. But if you have used the cash to buy the latest car, and some of the latest things that keeps you looking like sunshine wherever, you will find that even when opportunities come to you, you cannot take advantage of it. And that's what puts the pressure on. But if you start and deliberately, you have to be disciplined, you understand, about it. It is after you have taken care of that particular aspect that all other expenses can then follow. And I say to you that if you start it, you will be surprised how you build that place. And the same applies as a business, because you can do the same. Let me tell you what. The tax that you pay as a business is about 1/3 of your profits. Do you know that? The tax to government is about 1/3 of your profits. So you also need to understand that why do you have, and that 1/3 is taken from what you yourself declared as profits. So it means that if I can reduce what I'm declaring as profits by expensing a lot more, you understand? It means you are paying less tax to government, and you are using that money for things, you understand, that will add value, you understand, to your business or to your people or to whatever. So I'm just saying that so that we don't start looking like it's easy for somebody to say, I used to have a colleague that used to talk about armed robber salary. You understand? I don't earn armed robber salary. What am I going to do? It's not even enough to meet up with my daily needs. But I'm saying to you that if you change your mindset and set it aside as a priority, you will be surprised what will happen in 1 year. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Now you have 10%, 9%. Because they take more than tax. So we have 9%. That's what we are dealing with. And the second issue that I believe that notice is the fact that some of us that need agencies are going to private sector are mostly the companies. They know how we budget. Therefore, by the time you set your budget, they are saying to you, no, this the boss cannot be 25%. So how do people that are moving from the agency side to the client side? If you don't deal with that issue, you're going to have a problem of people watching us around. When you look at the figures, the salami has given us have them restructure the payment 40-20 happy. And so two things we need to resolve as much as we can is one, how to tell our staff to go to the right side. And I also hear pastor say, a lot of others, a certain number of people from the agency. More people vote for agencies to the right side. And that is good. So how do we resolve that? How do we also resolve this issue? And our people to the right side. And they are not back to us and all of that. And that's the culture that we force somebody to be. Always, as long as you go in this business, you're going to have people who will say to you, no, you can't pay. Let's say something, and you get this, you run into, if you say no, if you say no, we don't want to do this job. It's for S.
Okay. This fire chat is getting really heated, and we can actually see that there's a lot of pain in the business. I think just things up. We'll pick it up from the town hall meeting tomorrow. However, I think something is very important and crucial. If you get to speak to certain clients or head of marketing or marketing directors, and you say, if something happens in the economy, you increase your price. Why are you not increasing our own fee? You're even looking at reducing our own fee. And one word comes out from their mouth. You guys are not together. If you guys can come together, even if it is by 2.5, we can increase it. So I think we should move away from all of this, because we can all talk about it from now till tomorrow. Nothing will change. How are we going to come together as a body such that when we agree it is going to be 12.5 or it is going to be 15, we are going to stand on that. By the time they go to all of the agencies seated here and everybody is insisting on 12.5, we all know what is going to happen. But if at the end of the day we all agree on certain things and somebody goes to the back and says, give me 7, give me 8, we know we are going back to where we are coming from. So I think at the end of the day, we have a lot to discuss at the town hall tomorrow, and I'll give it to Richard.
Okay. I've been accused for stirring the honestness, and so my apologies. Okay. On a lighter note, the new agencies, can I ask one of them to say how they've survived and how they intend to? Mr. Kalu.
Good evening once again. Let me start by first acknowledging my mentor. I have a mentor here. Her name is Nana Benegrosa. You know, I run to her each time I have any decision that I need to make that I think I need more information. Meanwhile, she grew up working with me, but today she's my mentor. Okay. Now, it hasn't been easy, but I learned from all I've been through. December last year, in one of the projects we are working on, that we worked on for 17 months, we were delivering 125%. And suddenly they called us and said to us that we can't renew your contract. I don't understand why. I thought it was a joke. And for 5 months, they did not renew the contract. They only just renewed it in June. But during the period, I discovered that I needed to go beyond just looking at the face value of the LPO and the job being done, to begin to do some of the things that I've heard you guys talk about now, the financials, looking at the payback, looking at doing like a P&L for each assignment to understand whether it's actually profitable or not. Because, for my brother that has 5 agencies, I think I asked myself, does it make sense for agency A to be making money with which you pay staff of the agency B and C? No, every agency should be profitable. And if you have a business that has different departments, every department should be profitable. I have a training outfit that at times brings more more money than the brand activation. But I've said to my staff, if you're in brand activation, let's work it. And if you're in training, let's work it. Training will not pay you. You've got to go out there and let's get the business done. So tonight, I'm actually just here to learn. Because I'm pretty young in this business, even though I've been client side for a long time. And I know that it's not the same. Client side, you are the boss. You make all the noise and you sign. But here, you have to hear them. So now I go at times, they make me sit down for hours. And I just sit down. I just sit down. Because I know that I've got to change, have the right mindset to know that I'm no longer the big client, the big office, the big title. Now it's about the job. So guys, I'm here to learn from you. And I'm open and I'm writing down, I'm taking notes. So guys, thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Thank you.
Okay, does any other new agency person have something to say?
Good evening, everyone. Name. Yeah, briefly for me, shortly after COVID, so we realized that we needed to get some of our staff out of our system, and so we did an audit. And the audit was for us to just confirm maybe the last 3 months or the last 6 months most of our staff what they've been doing. So the result from the audit was the fact that we realized that about 30-40% of the time most of our staff spend in working on briefs were briefs that never came to the agency. Which is the fact that we see people who have staff that will go to strategies, creative guides, working on document proposals, and you share these proposals with clients, and you realize that you don't get this. You don't know this project, and you are paying staff that these staff are actually working, and they come to the office Monday to Friday, and even at times spending more time Saturday and Sunday working on this proposal. And you also realize that at the end of the day, you don't have those businesses in-house. Yeah, so we realize that if most of our staff spend 30-40% of their time working on briefs, and they're actually working, and they are paid their salary. Yeah, so we realize that. So what we do after then was for us to decide that going forward, yeah, we decide on project we want to work on. We decide on pitches we want to go for. We decide on okay, if you share the thing with us, look at it. Okay, this is something that we feel. Can we actually get this project? Even though we know we have the expertise to get the project, but we look at it critically. It's something that we know we're not able to really understand the qualities or everything around the project or the brief. We just decide that for this particular brief, we're not going to work on it. And since that time, we realized that if we're working on any pitch or any brief, we have 70-80% conditions of getting that project. So we don't have staff that come to the office and you are paying them monthly to work on briefs, strategies, and you just realize that you are paying salary for projects you are not actually paying into the business. So far, I think there is in fact, like 2 months ago, we attended there was a pitch from one of the multinationals, and when we got into the conference, we realized that we have about 14 different ESP agencies, especially marketing agencies, in the conference room, coming for just one brief. And when we got there, in fact, we just stepped down. We walked out, we didn't know where we realized that 14 different agencies in the room coming to pitch for one particular. So we realized that, hey, even though we have the factor of running the pitch, but it won't make sense for us to waste time. You have to pay people. Even at times, you have people outside the agency to come and work on those meetings. You don't get them, and so that is strategy for us, and it's been working.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will continue this session at the town hall meeting tomorrow. Please, can we have the new agencies come forward, please? The new agencies here present, please come forward. Where's Madam President? Okay. I've been, according to the schedule, the EXCOs are supposed to speak to you guys. Eh? Okay. I did. Okay, sorry. New agencies to EXMAN. Point of correction. You see, I went to night school, like I said before, not at home. Okay, I'm waiting for Madam President to have the honors. You see, when we started, we had only 3 that now we are like 6. But why? Late comers. How many people are we supposed to have? 8. Okay, Madam President. As part of your the expo, you're supposed to yes.
Oyo of Ibadan. President.
So it's not really an induction. Tomorrow is induction. One of the things that we found out over the year as we were moving along was a lot of the new agencies come into EXMAN. They are coming because they want to get the EXMAN certification. But we then realized that there are some things that, regardless of anyhow they see, there are some things that are us, that make up who we are as EXMAN. So that's why we decided that on this evening after the fireside, we would actually give them a brief intro into who we are, how we do our things, and how we believe that regardless of whatever is going on in the world, you are expected to actually self-police yourself, regardless of waiting. I mean, the reason why this fireside happened was for us to speak to ourselves, as has been spoken by everyone, which I'd like to say thank you. So I would like President Emeritus for you to take them through a bit about who we are as EXMAN. Then Mr. Salami would also say a bit about some of the things. We also have a code of conduct which we want to give to each one of them, because I know that at the beginning of EXMAN this was very, very important to us. Actually, we wanted to give this to every member, but we don't have enough, because we also then realized that a lot of members actually do not understand the fact that we have a code of conduct, which we do. So you will please speak to them about who we are as EXMAN, some of the things, and then Mr. Jericho will round up as well by just giving them some tips on our way forward as EXMAN. And then tomorrow we'll welcome you all into the body of EXMAN. And when we say that new agencies, as far as EXMAN is concerned, you are new agencies. You understand? Some of you have been in business for ancient of years, but as far as EXMAN is concerned, you're new members. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam President. You are most welcome. I was saying to Mr. Jericho, when I came in, I came coming into this place, that it is such a joy to see so many new faces who are here today and take the completion of the membership of the association. So we are honored to have you here with us. I will just give a very short history of how we came. And I want to acknowledge my brother here, Mr. Wale Olamide, for the very first early steps that was in terms of beginning to look at having an association for the experiential side of the advertising industry. We started out with a group of 10 agencies. They were meeting and looking to set up what is today known as EXMAN. And that group expanded to a group of G15 when some other agencies joined us. And that was how the journey started until we were able to register the association in 2013. And one of the very first key things that we had to take a turn on was whether we wanted to be part of ACON, which was ACON then, or if we wanted to go and start an institute of our own. And the way we went about it was to ensure that we presented two position papers. One, to support our being a part of ACON, and then the other for us to have an institute of our own, like the Institute of Experiential Marketing, which of course would mean that we need to get the legislation to give Philip, you understand, to that. So we debated it amongst ourselves, we took the position papers, shared it out with our trustees, as well as sought legal advice. And the consensus was that we should be part of AMCON, because this is a body that is set up by government, and by the classification we are supposed to advertising from the nomenclature. And that's how our journey and collaboration with ACON started. And today we're seeing the benefits. People are speaking about the issue about business terms, and Federica was just making mention of the fact that a lot of people are not even aware of some of the things that have happened within our industry regarding terms of business. So there is what is called ISOP, the Advertising Industry Standard of Operating Practice. This is something that is now part of the laws that govern advertising in Nigeria. It is backed by legislation by the National Assembly, and it has been signed into law by the President. So it's a law. According to that law, clients cannot pay agencies longer than 60 days. Actually, 45 days with 15 days of grace. But within 60 days, if you put in your bill, the client is supposed to pay you money. Now, the enforcement side of it can only happen when agencies get the boldness to report such situations to the client. But when you do, be assured that there is a law that covers that protects us. The issue of business terms of engagement and disengagement of agency is clearly also spelled out under ISOP. So which means that some of the kind of agreements that the agency need to enter into that puts us as a disadvantage, we have the protection of the law regarding that. And that's one of the benefits that you get as a member of EXMAN, because you have the full weight of ACON backed by the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria behind us. So a lot of changes has happened in the last 1 year or two when that new law became effective. And so, yes, in terms of enforcement, rather than take that approach, the approach is to sort of carry everybody along. And we are seeing movements in the right direction regarding that. there is a body called the Heads of Advertising Sectoral Groups. This is a body that has the president of all the different associations that make up the advertising ecosystem, EXMAN, ADVAN, AAAN, WIPAN, OAN, and so on and so forth. And they have a committee where they meet. So which means that all the heads of different organizations that oversee the respective arms of the industry have a place where they have discussions and matters that impact all of us are discussed. So one of the major strides is that EXMAN is now sitting at the table when matters that concerns our industry are being tabled and discussed. And I think for an association that started about 11 years ago, we have taken really giant strides for which all of us should be immensely proud. So we're very happy to welcome you into our fold, and we believe that, and I want to just speak to one other thing, which is the fact that when we are out there, we compete. We go to pitches and compete with one another. But when we come together as EXMAN, we are one family, we are sharing notes, we are enjoying ourselves, and I'm sure you will see more of that enjoyment as we await what the AGM planning committee they have in store for us. And then some guys, I won't mention it, I know they also have some other arrangements that happen, but I'm not privy to that. Maybe they will let some of us in on what is going to happen later on. Thank you very much.
Mr. Salami.
Okay, I think Kayode has basically mentioned it all. This association is, I think, 11 years now, and it's gone through 4 or 5 successive presidents. 5. This is the 6th president now. So Kayode was our first president, right? Then followed by Rotimi Olaniyan. Then my humble self, and after me I passed the baton on to Tade Adekunle of Experiential, and Tade passed it on to Tunji Adeyinka, and Tunji Adeyinka now passed it to Madam Tolu Bedebe. So it will continue, right? We're very professional. We'd like to position ourselves as the new bride in the marketing communications industry. We're the newest, we're the youngest, but we'd like to also be the most vibrant and the most disciplined. So we have a code of conduct, and then we have the SOP, which is our standard operating procedures. So we encourage each and every one of you to abide by the tenets and the mandates and dictates of those 2 documents. So you need to abreast yourself of the Constitution as well as all the other documents that support what we do and how we do it. Welcome on board, and we wish you a successful tenure with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think to cap what Kayode and Kelly have said is the typical practice is that people join EXMAN and then after the AGM they disappear, which is they don't take any role in the association. And at the end of the day, you cannot get the best out of the association if you act that way. We have to be very conscious of the things that are happening in our industry, which is why as Mr. Olakeshi said, the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria Law, that's ALCON, is very, very important. And apart from that, the documents that they mentioned, the ISOP document, And the second one, the code of conduct, yes. Very important, and it's important that each agency head should get a copy of those two. The one that we're going to give you free of charge is the Constitution of EXMAN, and it's also it's very important that you read it very, very clearly, especially tonight, and see what the association stands for. In the past, one of the biggest complaints that you have from agencies is, what value am I getting from EXMAN? These days, we don't hear those complaints anymore. The value that you get depends on what you put into EXMAN and how you engage with the association. So, in capping everything, we all look forward to accepting you into the association tomorrow. We hope that between tonight and tomorrow, nothing untoward will happen with your applications. But also for other members who are members who have been with EXMAN for years, it's always good to see us like this. It's always good to see you once a year for the AGM, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to a very exciting and fulfilling day tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, Nika, you're supposed to give these to the new agencies. Please, can you stand up again? So sorry, please. The new members, noted. Ladies and gentlemen, and officially I drop the microphone and hand it over to Mrs. Hallelujah. My task here is done, and I'm very glad to give the microphone to Mrs. Hallelujah. Thank you so much. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. Please let's give our moderators a round of applause. So thank you very much once again for the fireside. Honestly, I don't know about you, but for me, it was beyond my own expectations. I mean, we planned this, but the engagement, level of interaction was really very good. So thank you. I just come out to say thank you to our past president, Mr. Kenny Salatu, Mr. Kagel Lageshi, and our UK past president, Mr. Tuli Adeyina, once again, and to all our experts. Thank you very much for attending the fireside. Thank you for the participation. So to everybody that has come, thank you so much. It was really, truly an exciting one. For tomorrow, okay, first, as we leave here, remember I said we have our dinner. So as we leave here, as we walk right out, we handed over your dinner back, so they are taking it back. That's dinner. And then tomorrow, we start early, we start at 10 a.m. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. So we have the AGM session, AGM proper. So we'll have the AGM and then we'll have town hall later on today. Tomorrow is special because it's a special one because we'll have our teaching present tomorrow. So please make your indulgence seated at the wall. No later than 10 a.m. You can come here before 10. It will be great. So we'll open up the AGM. And then later on tomorrow after the AGM, we'll have some fun. So we're going to have a dinner to ensure that everyone, let's relax after the whole serious stuff and everything. And like Sister Kagel Lageshi was saying, after our dinner, of course, definitely there'll be something else afterwards. So it's really going to be a full day, but it's going to be exciting. I can assure you of that. So thank you, our new members. Thank you, and I can assure you, just get ready for a really exciting time with us. So thank you, and have a very good evening. For those of you going out, all of you, going out tonight, please ready. So you can come in tomorrow morning. So thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye.